Am I the asshole for asking my dad not to bring his girlfriend to a football game? Yes? See, okay, if it's, teenage angst, I can understand that, like, if he's embarrassed or something. So I'm gonna say yes. I, 25 female, oh.
Your whole theory just got blown up.
Okay, I might be wrong. I, 25 female, am an only child. My parents divorced 4 years ago, and I've always had a good relationship with my dad, 59 male, though sometimes rocky. We've had a tradition of going out for dinner every Friday, and I've always tried to maintain a close bond with him. In 2021, I befriended June, 45 female, a colleague of mine. We weren't super close, but I considered her more than just a work friend. We'd hung out, and at one point, I even asked her to lend me her credit card to buy us Lollapalooza tickets. Damn, okay. In return, she asked to visit my family's island house, which I agreed to. I didn't think much of it when I later invited her and her daughter to the house, with my dad driving us there. Turns out, my dad and June started dating shortly after. What the f***? Girl, what? Oh my god. Hello? Okay, anyway, I mean, she is closer to his age. Anyway, oh my god, that's still okay. They did ask for my permission at first, and I reluctantly said yes, but over time, I began to feel sidelined. June started coming to all of our outings, even to the point where my dad wanted to include her and her kids on our annual New Year's trip. Whenever I wanted to hang out with my dad alone, he'd suggest I tag along with them instead. By October, I had enough and told him how uncomfortable I felt. His response was that they were a couple now, and I needed to accept that they would always do things together. I wasn't asking him to choose between us, just to have some time with him alone. Valid. Fast forward to last Wednesday. My dad called asking if he could bring June to our local football club games, something that's been a special tradition for us since I was a kid. Aww. I said no, reminding him that that was supposed to be our thing. He pushed back, saying he didn't want her to be alone on a Saturday night. I told him again that my answer was no. He called me spoiled and bratty and said he was bringing her anyway. I stood my ground, saying he could go with her but not pick me up. He then suggested we could all have dinner afterward, to which I said I'd rather go with one of my friends. He proposed we all go together, and I said no again. Finally, he said, okay, I'm bringing her either way. 5 minutes later, he called back saying, you know what, I'm not going. Since then, we haven't spoken. I tried calling on Friday to cancel our usual dinner plans, but he didn't respond. He's currently living with June while she built her new house, with his help. So they see each other every day. Is it too much to ask for him to go to the game with just me? Is it really such a tragedy for her to stay home for a couple of hours? Am I the asshole for wanting that one-on-one time with my dad? No. I'm sorry your dad's, like, ignoring you for his girlfriend. That's so weird that it was your friend and... Aww. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Action taken. I asked my dad not to bring his girlfriend, June, to a football game that has traditionally been our special outing. That is devastating. Why it might make me the asshole. This request could make me the asshole because it seemed like I'm trying to control my dad's choices and limit his relationship with June. By insisting that our tradition exclude her, I might come across as selfish or unwilling to accept his new relationship, which could hurt both him and June. It might seem like I'm prioritizing my feelings over their happiness. It was one night. I mean, I think it's valid to want to ask your dad for one-on-one time, especially if you guys had one-on-one time before, you know? Sure, like, you can have some outings with that, like, together as a group. But, like, to completely just not have any time of, like, father-daughter moment, it doesn't... Not right. I get wanting to spend time with your significant other, but it's completely reasonable for you to want to spend time alone with your dad. This would really hurt me. I can only imagine how you feel. Dad needs to hear about your feelings on this, very calmly and very specifically. Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole. Poor OP. I'm sorry your dad's just really prioritizing a relationship over, like, y'all's relationship. Like, it's fine to, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say no, not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not cleaning up after my boyfriend messed up? Mark, not the asshole. Let's see if we agree. Context. My boyfriend of 2 years decided he wanted to cook tonight. As I had just been in the dentist and had a procedure done, I told him that if he chose to cook it, he needed to know that I had no interest in participating, and if that wasn't okay, he could take a meal from the freezer. He really wanted to and made mac and cheese. This needed to go in the oven, and he wanted to use a form that is very difficult to clean, so I told him to use a baking sheet of some sort to make sure it didn't stink too much. He chose not to. After he was finished and the form was burnt and lots of pieces stuck to it, he put it to soak and asked me before bed if I could clean it for him the morning after. Bitch! No? I told him no. He then proceeded to say, oh, I guess I'll be doing it at 8 a.m. in the morning before work. But you made the mess! Hello? What? I asked what he meant, and he said that he found it ridiculous that I wouldn't do it as I go to work later than him. I explained that I had previously tried to warn him about this issue and that I was trying to prevent it for him and that I didn't find it fair that he was trying to make me feel bad for not fixing it for him now that it could have been avoided. He thinks I should feel bad, but I really don't. Am I the asshole? Is what kind of hello? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I didn't want to help clean up after my boyfriend's mistake in the kitchen. Am I the asshole for not doing it in the morning? No! Oh my god, your boyfriend sucks a little bit. Not a little bit, he sucks. He sucks. Not the asshole. You gave him a heads up about not wanting to help. Plus you warned him about the pan situation, and he ignored both. It's not fair for him to expect you to clean up after him, especially when you had a dental procedure and weren't up for it. If he chose to cook and ignored your advice, he should take responsibility for the cleanup too. It's about mutual respect, not shifting blame. Yup. Also, you aren't his mother. This one's also a not the asshole. Oh, alright, let's see. Am I the asshole for pretty much telling my friend I told you so after he got in a car crash? Oh my god. I, 19 male, am the only one with the car, so I was the one driving everyone around. I had a set of rules that everyone had issues with, such as seatbelts at the back too. What? Valid. No eating, drinking, water accepted. No distracting me. They would often try shoving their phones to me. Oh my god. And no blocking my blind spot by sitting weirdly. I don't care if my car has blind spot monitoring. I prefer to check manually. These are so valid rules. Everyone constantly grilled me for my rules and made fun of me for following the law.
You want to be safe, you nerd.
Yes, I admit I miss my exit a quarter of the time, but I won't cut off other drivers or reverse just to save a few minutes. An actual suggestion from them. One of my friends even said, if I had a car, I wouldn't drive like a grandma like you. You suck at driving. This OP's told me they're a great driver. I would feel safe in their car. Suffice to say, I was relieved when one of my friends finally got a car and could be the group driver. At first, everyone roasted me in group chats and in real life, raving about how much more fun it was now that I wasn't driving. Your friends are haters. Let me guess. They do illegal activities and say it's cooler. 5 months after getting his license and car, my friend told everyone in the group chat that he'd been in a car crash and his car was totaled. Aw, damn. At least he's safe? He shared the dashcam footage and genuinely thought he wasn't at fault, calling the other driver a dumb typical female driver. Okay. I read everything I need to know here. The footage showed him going 75 kilometers an hour in a 50-kilometer zone on a blind curve. The other driver was turning right, and he hit her at full speed. Instead of braking, he honked! For some reason, neither he nor the other driver got a ticket. What? I told him in the group chat that he was probably at fault considering he was going 50% over the limit on a blind curve and just 100 meters from a 40-kilometer school zone. Oh my god. Even if he had the right-of-way, insurance would deem it at fault due to his speed and slow reaction time. I told him not to send the footage to his insurance company. Of course, everyone in the chat called me a dumbass, and one of them said, bro, I live near the neighborhood. My brother goes 80 on that street. Everyone does. That's dangerous.
If everyone jumped off the cliff, would you?
Exactly. That lady was the idiot. Since the cop didn't ticket him and the group chat supported him, he sent the footage to his insurance company. Dumbass. He was so confident that he started asking for suggestions on what new car to get once he received a fat paycheck. Sweet. Everyone got hyped and started browsing Auto Trader. A week later, he got the verdict from his provider. He was deemed 100% at fault. He also had the cheapest insurance plan, so his insurance company paid nothing to him and only covered the other driver. Even if they had paid him something, he wouldn't be able to afford insurance with his record as a young male. In the group chat, I responded with LMAO. Now you know why I drive like a grandma. Enjoy taking the bus. Oh my god. Everyone in the chat reacted with damn and the startled face emoji. He replied, rules are meant to be broken. I'm not a stickler like you. Everyone gets into a car crash. Dude, your friends are stupid. Oh my god. I don't like calling people stupid, but they're clearly... Oh my god. Everyone else is at fault besides them. No accountability. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I insulted him less than a month after he crashed his car. He just lost his most expensive asset and won't be able to afford insurance for 6 years. So we can't afford to drive legally for 6 years. It's a tough lesson. But I don't know. It just, I feel like you lose the right to being upset if you got made fun of, if you were fucking making fun of your friend before. I don't know. I mean, I guess it does depend on the severity of the making fun of, but this whole entire vibe is just giving, I'm not surprised. Am I the asshole for blaming my mom for how poor we grew up? I'm gonna say yes, but I can also easily see, like, mom spending money and then, like, not having any, like, spending all the money and not using it for the kids whatsoever. My 25 male parents divorced when I was 10, and my sisters were 9 and 5. We used to live a very comfortable life because of my father's job and generational wealth, but my mom was and is a proud woman, so she refused to take anything from him. No property, no alimony, no child support. He was happy to completely F out of our lives. After that, we really struggled. My mom had married... This is the story of Doflamingo. After that, we really struggled. My mom had married my dad at 20 and didn't even have a college degree. I don't know. OP is being so harsh. I don't know. We lived with my grandparents for a while, moved 6 times due to my mom not being able to make rent. We barely saw her because she worked 3 jobs and just had enough for basic necessities. She's working her ass off and you are just degrading her. Growing up, I didn't think I'd be able to go to college and would have to work to support my family straight out of school, but my mom pretty much forced me to go. It wasn't until I was 19 that my mom finally started moving up in a steady job and shifted up a few tax brackets. It's not like I don't think she did her best or am unappreciative of all she did for us, but I do feel like we suffered a lot unnecessarily just for her pride. We could have grown up so much happier if my mom didn't make us collateral damage in her fight with her father. This is something that I mentioned to her when we were having an emotional conversation 2 days ago, and it made her cry. I didn't want to hurt her. I was just sharing what I felt, but she was so upset that she needed time to process that. Regardless of whether I was right or wrong, I do think that this was an overreaction. What the f? My sisters think I need to apologize, but I don't. I didn't want to hurt her, and I don't resent her for this, but you do! What is it? So this entire post is you resenting her! What do you mean? And I don't resent her for this, but I shared my truth with her, and she had no reason to be this upset. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think it might be the asshole. I know I'd be the asshole for what I said was more serious than I think it was. Yes, the asshole. The way that they just talked about their mom the entire time. Asshole. It's odd you're directing your criticism at the parent who's stuck by you and not the one who completely F out of your lives. You're the asshole. It's not unreasonable to expect the non-custodial parent to support their own kids. If OP's mom didn't want the money, she could have taken it, but put it in savings account for OP and siblings' secondary education. I'd be pissed too. She was doing her best, and maybe there's like maybe he would have held it over her head or something. That's a thing that people with money do. Like, that's just the thing. Like, I can understand from the kid's point of view from being pissed, but it's really giving ungrateful. It truly is. Wait, did they even respond to any of the other ones? Professional tour 395. Okay, let's see. What all posts you make? From what I recall, he was generally unpleasant, distant, and unaffectionate guy. We were all better off without him for sure, but really could have done with his money. Oh my god. It sounds like mom was like, I am not giving my children emotional damage. I couldn't care less about my father, and I love my mom immensely. No, you don't! The way that you were making that... Nuh-uh. That doesn't mean I can't criticize her. Oh my god.
You're right, this is stuff we go.
By my mom's own account, he hired a lawyer to negotiate, but she refused to even ask him for anything other than custody, which he didn't fight her on, because he probably was gonna put the bills on her! I'm not angry at my father because I feel nothing for him. He was a complete failure of a father. I'm criticizing my mom not because I think she was the worst parent. I don't know how anyone could interpret like this, like that, TBH. What do you mean? But because she was entitled to money, which would have made our lives much easier, but refused to claim it. She's always been open about her marriage, so I know he wasn't abusive or controlling. Just an asshole with absolutely zero regard for his family. She could have at least tried to fight him with some child support that he'd probably not even notice the loss of. I don't know. I think OP is the asshole. Alright, we got our last one for the night. Am I the asshole for not visiting my maid of honor after her foot surgery? Yes? Yes. If you're a maid of honor, I feel like you would be pretty close. So would you say yes? I don't know. I got married at the end of August, and anyone who's been part of a wedding knows how hectic it can get. My husband and I did everything ourselves, no planner or coordinator, and our venue didn't offer much. We were still running around minutes before walking down the aisle. I had two maids of honor. One, Tracy, who I'm very close with, and another, Kate, who this post is about, and I'm also or used to be very close with. I wonder why y'all aren't close anymore. Kate was really excited when I got engaged, but as soon as wedding planning began, she disappeared. My wedding party included my 4 closest friends, and they kept bachelorette and bridal shower plans a surprise. Kate, instead of helping, would complain to me about it. She eventually stopped communicating, making me feel like my wedding was a burden. Though she insisted she wanted to be my maid of honor. Okay, maybe I was wrong. The night before my bachelorette, Kate called to say she couldn't make it. The next day I found out that one of my bridesmaids missed the party because Kate had promised her a ride and failed without telling her. Kate also broke a beautiful champagne flute I gave her as a wedding gift and blamed her daughter even though I saw her do it. Oh my god! 3 weeks before the wedding, Kate told me she might need surgery for her foot injury. I felt terrible for her. I've known her since childhood and love her like a sister. Kate's injury was unfortunate but honestly typical for her, as she often has bad luck. I moved along as regular. She said she had a doctor's appointment, so I regularly checked in with her via text. She rarely answers my phone calls. On the day of her surgery, exactly 1 week before my wedding, I texted her early, prayed for her, and checked in. We exchanged a few messages and spoke on the phone, but I couldn't visit because I don't drive and my husband was busy helping with wedding prep, even while he was at work. I didn't want to burden him further. I was surprised Kate showed up to the wedding despite her injury. Her daughter, who was a flower girl, most likely influenced her decision to come, which I was very happy for. We didn't get a chance to talk much during the reception, but I caught her on her way out and hugged her and thanked her for coming and gave her a bottle of champagne. After the wedding, we went into a mini-moon. When I got back, I reached out to Kate, but she canceled our plans to meet, saying she had other commitments. Then she seemed short with me over text. I asked if she was upset, and she sent a message saying she was disappointed I hadn't visited her after her surgery and felt like I could have made time to stop by for just 10 minutes. I apologized and explained that with everything going on, I couldn't visit, but I thought of her and stayed in touch. I now wonder, just because I didn't visit in person, am I the asshole? My husband, mom, and one bridesmaid all think I'm not, but I want an unbiased opinion. Am I the asshole? No? Update. I texted her knowing she prefers messages to phone calls, and said I noticed she hasn't seemed to want to talk much lately, but that I'd be here whenever she's ready. She replied, apologizing, explaining that she needs space to heal and recover from her injury, and that we would talk soon. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Even though I checked in on her every day via text, I'm the asshole for not physically being there. No. No. Yeah, I'm not the asshole. Anyway, that was the last one that we have for tonight, guys.